Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining me for this continuing series on 30 reasons for being Muslim. The reason I want to explore with you today is the fact that Islam teaches us to revere and respect Jesus and his mother. Now, what does that do? That means that Muslims are immediately in dialogue and in affinity with our Christian friends, because for Christians, Jesus is one of the most important persons who ever walked on this planet. And if anyone knows anything about anything, they must know about Jesus and they must believe in Jesus. Well, a Muslim can proudly say, we do believe in Jesus and his mother. So, stepping away from Islam for the moment, looking at the broader picture, we can see where the problem lies. For our Christian friends, especially those who are traditional in their faith, they have certain traditional principles and insistence that Jesus must be believed in. And so from a Christian point of view, from this traditional stance, if somebody does not know about Jesus, what do they know? If somebody does not believe in Jesus, what exactly do they believe in? It must seem really odd for traditional Christians to approach people who do not have any knowledge of Jesus. Now, outside of the Islamic faith, we find that most religions say nothing about Jesus. And there is one religion that actually, instead of revering him, reviles him. And so Islam stands out as very unique among the world's religions in that Islam has so much to say about Jesus. So let's look at what Islam has to say about Jesus. In the Quran, which is for Muslims the book from God, a revelation for all humankind, the Quran tells us about Jesus, mentioning him by name at least 25 times. And his mother is also mentioned by name a few dozen times in the Quran, a couple of dozen times. So what that means is that in reading the Quran again and again, Muslims are coming across mention of Jesus and of Mary again and again. Now, there are two chapters of the Quran that make very pointed references to Mary and her son Jesus. That is the third chapter of the Quran called Surah Al-Imran, named after, from the Quranic perspective, the grandfather of Jesus, the father of Mary. And the 19th chapter of the Quran, entitled Surah Maryam, giving the name of Mary as Maryam in the Arabic, or Maryam, if you like. So Muslims find these chapters to be beloved chapters, and they give us a detailed description. For example, we find in these chapters that the angels come to Mary and say that she's going to have a child. And she says, how can I have a child when no mortal has touched me? And the Quran says that the angels assure her, so it is. When God decrees a matter, he only says to it, kun fayakun, be, and it becomes. And so Jesus is shown to have been born in a special way under God's supervision. And after this special announcement, Jesus is shown to have performed many miraculous deeds. He healed the blind, cured the leper, raised the dead back to life. Jesus is obviously a very special person in the Quran. He does all of this from the Muslim perspective and from the Quranic teachings by the will and permission of God. But nonetheless, it means that he is an agent through which God performs many miracles and shows his signs and wonders on the earth to draw people to the message that Jesus was proclaiming. As for Jesus himself, the Quran declares that he's a prophet of God, he's a messenger of God. The Quran even calls him God's Messiah, which for our Christian friends is a very dear term, because the term Messiah from the Hebrew HaMashiach, the Messiah, is translated into Greek as Christos, the Christ, if we give it an English pronunciation. And for our Christian friends, it must be in some of them thinking that Jesus is the only, he's the Christ, and only we believe that he is the Christ. But surprise, surprise, Muslims also believe that Jesus is the Christ of God. And that may just simply mean that he is anointed for a special task, for office, for a task which God has commissioned him to perform. And that is really, from the Muslim point of view, to give the saving message of grace and salvation to the people at large. From the Quranic point of view, Jesus, on whom be peace, followed the line of the great prophets before him. He taught a message of monotheism. He followed the law, even with some modification, because he says in the third chapter of the Quran, وَلِيُحِلَّ لَكُمْ بَعْضَ الَّذِي حُرِّمَ عَلَيْكُمْ, so that I may make permissible for you some of that which was previously forbidden for you, which means that he followed some of the law while abrogating some of the law. And as for his monotheism, it is clear that Jesus says, according to the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ رَبِّي وَرَبُّكُمْ فَاعْبُدُوهُ هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمٌ. Certainly, God is my God and your God, so worship him. That is a right path. So Jesus, on whom be peace, for Muslims is a central figure in the Quran. And for Muslims, therefore, you have to believe in Jesus. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a Muslim. And so it is then very important for a Muslim to have dialogue with his Christian friends and her Christian friends. And what this means then for us and for the world is two things. First, for us, it means that we have full confidence as Muslims that by following the Prophet Muhammad, whom be peace, by following the Quran, we are automatically following Jesus. And we automatically believe in Jesus and believe in the things that Jesus taught and what he said and did. And that means that Muslims have the satisfaction that we're not cut away from, we're not isolated from one of the greatest persons who walked on this planet Earth, that is Jesus. It means that we know him, we love him, we revere him, we respect him and his mother. So that's for us. It gives us that personal sense of satisfaction that in following Islam, we're also following Jesus. Second, for the world, it means that Muslims and Christians together, making up more than 1/2 of the world's population, can work together in friendship as followers of faith, as believers in God and in Jesus. We can work hand in hand for the betterment of all humankind. We can improve society. We can do what is beneficial for the greater good. We can serve each other and serve with each other. And that would certainly make our world a better place. So that to me is an excellent reason for being a Muslim. The fact that Islam teaches us to revere and respect Jesus and his mother. Thank you for joining me for this continuing series. Join me again tomorrow for another reason for being Muslim. Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum.
There are people out there who don't interact with Muslims at all in their day-to-day lives. They learn everything they know about Muslims from TV or social media. Our Muslim Media Hub will reach these people and transform their lives. Support us at QuranSpeaks.com.